Benjamin and Stephanie, congratulations on the series.
Oh,
Thank you very
thanks.
much.
So this is a English language version of the iconic novels. Talk a little bit about the reimagining of this and your characters and how they're similar and how they're different from the original.
I think we have Maigret in spirit, in essence, but he's a good probably 20 years younger than what we're used to looking at. So he moves a bit faster. He's a bit more irrational. He hasn't quite learned the role. He's just trying on the coat of chief inspector, and he's getting things wrong. And he still has possibly too much sympathy for those around him, those he encounters at work, and hasn't grown that armor against what he does yet. So he's not the cynic that he's often depicted as. And there's still humor and levity, and I think he's an optimist, dare I say it. And Louise.
And Louise, very different to in the books. I think in the novels she's like a idealized housewife who is just so tolerant and loving and kind of mothers him. And that's not what happens here. I think I mean, that sort of, I think, wife doesn't really exist in the same, couldn't work in this modern idea of it. So she has her own job, her own life. They interact as equals, they help each other with cases he's working on and things at her work that she's dealing with. And it feels like a different sort of relationship than I'm used to sort of seeing on TV or playing, where they're a functioning functioning relationship who are going through difficult times maybe, but they're going through them together and figuring it out together, and sustaining that relationship and working on it.
How much did you rely upon the original source material? Were you studying, reading the books before you prepared for the role, or you just looking at the script?
No, I certainly started with the books, and I was just kind of mining it for little details to make sure that I was there or thereabouts. And there was a plausible way of who I was portraying becoming that Maigret. So I wasn't making too many huge choices that I couldn't live with later on. But there's such wonderfully written books. They're very simple language, very economical, and I think I took that hopefully into my acting. It wasn't about big theatrical gestures, much as I would have liked it to be. It was about being true to motive and intention and emotion. Yeah, I mean, I still keep going back to the books because they're just such a mine for all these funny little moments and Maigretisms that we try and sort of push into the text where we can.
Stephanie?
I've got to go completely blank in my mind, so completely
Oh,
lost.
no, just
I'm
on
so
the
sorry.
were
I was
you
like, do I just try and say something?
The original text.
Oh, the original text.
Yeah.
No, sorry.
No.
I read, yeah, I did read some of the books because I found it, and I loved them. And I loved all the different characters, and I loved the description of all the different worlds. And I thought that's something which Patrick's brought in really nicely. But in terms of my own process, it wasn't particularly useful for me. And I can quite easily just go down the wrong road for a very long time and then be like, none of this is useful. So I think, no, I tried to, in terms of Madame Maigret, Louise, try to sort of stick to the script and what was in front of me, because the characters aren't that similar. And I think it could have been quite confusing.
Mm. Did you have, for each of you, a favorite scene to shoot? And if so, why?
This changes every time I watch it, but having just watched episode, I think, 4 this morning, where are we on spoilers? Have you watched it all?
I've watched the first two.
We watched the first 2, okay.
Yeah.
Well, there's a scene that is just beautifully shot, and I don't think I realized it at the time. So maybe this is not necessarily the experience of shooting it, but when I saw it, there's a scene where we've just had some very bad news and we're sat in a bar, and it's shot like Nighthawks, the Hopper painting, and it's just, I only realized this morning how beautifully done it is. And it's really nice to be like, oh, that's, so much work was done for us, and we look great.
Yeah.
And it was not a decision we had to make.
No.
So that, yeah, it's a bad answer.
For me, it was just everything where we're eating. Which is a lot. We did so much eating. Eating and talking, I think, is like the secret to relaxing as an actor, because I'm just thinking about not speaking with my mouth full or making the choice to do so. I don't know. It was. We had a lot of really lovely. Fine when you're not talking, but also I'm going hurry up, because you have to talk in a minute.
Continuity.
Yeah, continuity is mad actually. But continuity aside, I got to eat about 40 croissants one day. It was great.
Now, you were shooting partially in Budapest, partially in Paris? How did that work?
Yeah, we did. I mean, mostly in Budapest, and then a little Paris block tacked on the end. Which, yeah, we're trying to expand those couple of days to a week and see if we can eventually get the whole shoot in Paris. But Budapest is an amazing substitute. There's a real grandeur to it. And it's an incredibly beautiful city.
Did you have favorite locations to shoot in either city?
Well, I was just in the flat. No, I wasn't just in the flat. I loved being in the bar. The bar was very cool. But I genuinely really loved our apartment, which was beautifully put together. I think it felt kind of weird to say, but it felt kind of like a womb. Like, felt very ugly, like, it felt like home and safe. And yeah, I was very happy to just kind of spend most of my time there, to be honest.
Yeah, it was a proper haven for us as actors. To just have one other person to deal with was lovely. But I mean, by contrast, the La Brigade Criminelle, where we do all of the kind of corkboard scenes, was great because it was so beautifully designed that it kind of felt like 100 sets in one, and we never really shot in the same place. And, you know, fun stuff, just trying to get angles with the steady cam and introducing all of the Maigret scenes like that became quite kind of, had a lot of elements to them and are quite technical to shoot. I realise now are actually quite fun. At the time, you're kind of cursing them, but it's really nice to then see them on screen and be like, that's where I dodged the boom, and that's where I did that. You know, there's a lot of pleasure in that.
How did you two create the chemistry that you needed for your scenes together?
I think it was just came quite naturally and easily. We've known each other for a very long time. We've got a lot of mutual friends. We've been to gigs together.
Yeah.
We've hung out loads. But yeah, so there was already
which is no guarantee of there being any chemistry.
Well, yeah, exactly. Well, no, I know, but it was just quite like easy. I don't think we had to try particularly. I didn't. Maybe you found it really difficult.
Oh, that's really hard.
Yeah.
No, I think like chemistry is an easy thing when you have like two generous actors, and I hope you'd say that about me, but I'd say it about Steph, like, who are looking to kind of create the story as opposed to, you know, outsmart or outact the other person. You're trying to create a scene together, and I think the moment you realise that with someone, the chemistry is kind of there, and that's all we were ever doing was playing off each other. So yeah, it felt easy, I'd say.
Was there something you learned about your characters throughout the course of the filming?
Yeah, I thought my character was really serious, and then I sort of realised actually she's quite like impish. She's kind of like trying to get a rise sometimes, slightly being like, lighten up. But yeah, I wasn't expecting that. That was quite joyful for me to discover. I think on day 2 I was like, oh, this is who she is. This is nice. Yeah,
I think probably I was quite intimidated to start with and thought, right, you're Maigret, you're this French sort of, it's this neo-noir show we're making, and you've got to be a miserable, cynical French man. And actually, when I realised I could lighten up a bit and yeah, enjoy it, the same reasons, that wasn't the show we're making. So I think I started off quite intimidated by the brand and all of those shoes I have to fill. And eventually it's like, what? And actually, it's a very funny script. not necessarily Maigret himself, usually people poking fun at Maigret, but to see like the Les Maigret bouncing off each other and taking the mickey out of each other was a joy, to know that it's a shared burden rather than being like, oh, I could just bring the gloom every day. Yeah.
It's exhausting.
Yeah.
Benjamin and Stephanie, thank you so much for your time. We hope everyone gets a chance to see the series when it premieres on PBS and streaming on Amazon.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching the You Interview channel. With over 3,000 original celebrity videos, we have one of the largest collections of celebrity interviews anywhere. So remember to like and comment on our videos and subscribe to the channel. If you want to get more involved, you can become a member of the channel. Membership has its perks. You can see exclusive celebrity videos and get the opportunity to ask our celebrity guests questions. We can't wait to hear from you.